During the long, dark period of the Great Wars, an elite class of soldier rose from battle. Their unbreakable code was simple: possess a noble heart of courage, right conduct, and absolute devotion to one's master. From out of those years of bloodshed, an empire would emerge. Its power would assimilate persons of every color, creed, and faith. This uncontested rule eroded the traditions of the great knights, but not for all.
Lay down your swords, you may walk free.
I'm the official envoy of the Emperor. I carry a message for Lord Bartok.
I welcome you to the castle. I will take the message.
The message is for your master.
Anyone who wishes to speak with my master must first speak with me.
Do you believe that the words of the Emperor are fit for a mere retainer?
I have no doubt that your arrogance is effective in other houses, therefore it is a mistake I am willing to forgive.
What is your name, foot soldier? I'm certain that the Emperor himself would want to know who has been so charitable toward his envoy.
An introduction would have been the right place for you to start. I am Commander Raiden of the 7th rank.
Your name is well known to me. Forgive my presumption.
My lord.
This comes directly from the capital?
Sealed before my eyes by the Emperor himself.
Very well. I am ordered to the capital to meet with Minister Giza Mott to review new protocols and duties. This is a farce. The new protocol is the bribe expected of me at that meeting, and for no other reason than to remain in his good favor.
This minister's influence has grown considerably since your last term. He is favored to succeed as first counsel.
I will not tolerate this kind of bribery, either in my own pocket or in my capital. What are your thoughts?
I follow you, my lord.
Since when do you speak anything but truth? Say what you think.
Well, if it's truly the injustice of corruption which upsets you, then perhaps you might have been so passionately moved to act before it arrived in your own court.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Only that it would be prudent to examine if this is simply a matter of pride.
It's not a matter of pride, it's a question of dignity.
So you will refuse the duty?
I refuse the extortion.
My lord, corruption within the capital is nothing new. How is this different from any other absurd new tax?
When a man like that can demand a bribe out in the open, with no fear of recourse, we're headed for a dangerous time. What? You think I hold on to an idealism that no longer exists?
Perhaps. Sir?
I'm fine.
Let me call the physician.
He's examined me.
When? What did he say?
You will not speak of this to them. Ah, my beautiful one's returned. And how did your studies go today?
Lily's music instructor has said that she's the most advanced student.
Of course she is.
I think he's exaggerating.
And I think he's an astute judge of talent. Either that or he's prepared to request a raise in his wages. Now, would you play something for me?
Good. Not all confrontations will be one-on-one as now practice sessions.
I was not aware we were practicing such a scenario.
There are never warnings in battle. Not all adversaries will adhere to the warrior's code as we do. You must always be on alert.
We must begin preparations to leave immediately. We've been summoned to the capital.
Lieutenant, will I be joining the convoy?
That is the commander's decision.
With all respect, sir, I believe I'm ready.
If the commander made decisions based on what others believed about themselves, half these men would have my position.
Gather the men to prepare for our journey.
You startled me. How long have you been standing there?
Hours.
Your humor is not on par with your stealth. It is an unfair advantage to use your skills upon your wife.
Trust me. It is you who has the advantage over me.
And what might that be? I heard the official messengers had arrived. I take it they didn't carry good news.
Why'd you say that?
You may be able to hide your presence from me, but not your thoughts.
We are summoned to the capital.
I thought you were not expected until the turn of the season.
His request from our new minister.
For what purpose?
Nothing worth disturbing our evening for.
You mean you do not wish to discuss it?
No, I mean I will soon be apart from you. And I can think of many better things to occupy our time with.
It's difficult to argue with that logic.
Come with me. My great-grandfather, a ferocious warrior. Not well liked, but he was responsible for expanding our lands into the province it is today. My father, he alone was responsible for protecting these lands during the Great War. You would have taken pleasure in knowing him. My son, I have no heir. I will be the 10th and last generation buried here. 20 years ago this month, and against all counsel, it was idealism that led me to invite you into my home. A young man with an empty soul, muddied by drink, and as dark as the graves of those who crossed his path. But it was idealism that saw through all that. To the man I see before me. Now you give me better advice than I give myself. When I have departed this world, these lands will be in your care.
My lord.
My name will be yours to uphold.
But your sword is to be passed to an heir. I am merely your retainer.
You are the heir to my spirit. Our bond has been earned, not inherited.
No, sir.
Take the sword. Be well, my love. You ready, Commander?
Yes, my lord. We have the gift from Minister Giza Mort.
Yes, it's all taken care of.
Gabriel,
Commander, thank you for this great honor.
I knew your mother and father well. If they were still among us, they would be very proud. So it begins again.
So it does.
Sit down.
Sir, may I ask you a question?
Of course.
You've known our commander a long time, yes?
Since I was your age.
Is it true he was not born into the military class?
He comes from peasant stock. Orphaned as a young boy, his entire family died of the fever.
Is that when Lord Bartok took him in?
No. Much later. When he was a young man. Why do you ask?
Stories circulate about him. They say he was cruel and murderous. without conscience or honor.
For many years, he was given to the drink. The dark fog made him violent. Does knowing this change your respect for him?
One is to be admired for rebuilding the self, not judged.
I got some rest. A long journey ahead tomorrow.
Welcome, Lord Bartok.
Your journey went well?
Quite.
It can be long.
It seems short.
I see you come bearing a gift.
It's customary for an official visit.
A robe.
Fine robe. You may also keep the box.
Did your retainer attend to the gift?
No. I chose it personally.
Very well. We'll begin early tomorrow. There is obviously much to do.
I look forward to your review of the new protocols.
Yes, and in addition to that, we'll get the chance to discuss the challenges which face the future of the Bartok lands.
I don't think he liked the color.
If I'd known what you'd intended, I would have insisted you bring something more.
More? I gave him the box, too.
This is not a matter of amusement. He has taken this as a personal insult. Tomorrow, I will bring a more suitable gift.
You will not. And in my presence, you will refer to the minister's demand as it really is. A bribe. Adopting the language of the pretense only serves to ease participation in it.
My lord, I think that perhaps now is not the time to take such a hard stand.
And if I ease my approach now, at what crossing will you recommend I stand my ground? When they've taken half my land? When it comes to a point where I have to exercise my own tyranny over those beneath me to support the bribes of those above?
Who does he think he is?
Perhaps he did not understand what is expected of him.
He understands perfectly. Does he arrive here planning to make a name for himself at my expense? Or is he so filled up with pride that he has no room for humility? Here, dog. A silk for your filth.
Where are we expected?
There is something I wish to show you.
Such a fine sword. May I? This is a nobleman's blade.
Where did you come by it? It was a gift from my master.
I have never heard of such generosity from Lord to retainer.
It seems you have won.
It is my favorite room here, because it exemplifies the great virtues of generosity and humility. Qualities necessary to operate smoothly within the workings of the capital. A quality all the other noblemen whom I have received seem to grasp. Are you beginning to understand the point of our talk?
Yes. Very impressive. You really intend giving all this away?
I'm reaching the end of my patience with you.
We can play this game as long as you like. But you'll receive no bribe from me.
Is that what this is to you? A game? How do you think the Emperor would respond to his command being thought of as a game?
Since your only threat seems to be running to the Emperor like a pouting child, you should ask him as soon as possible.
I need not ask. You were ordered to this review by the Emperor, and yet you reject his word.
I reject any attempt by you to exert some delusional power over me.
It is you who live under illusion, not me. I offer you no threat, but a promise. I will not only take your property and standing, but I will turn everything connected to the Bartok name into dust. And when I'm done, it will be as if neither you nor any generation before had ever existed.
You should be careful not to overstep.
Oh! Something wrong?
Oh!
I have known many like you. Men who, once their hairs bleed gray and their spines cut them like daggers, come to revise their own history. Truth is that your innermost fear is in fact your most striking attribute. You are irrelevant. You have neither cast a shadow nor left any footprints upon the great legacy of the Bartok clan. Your only achievement was being born into nobility. And you somehow failed to reproduce even that.
Guard! Guard!
You draw your blade on the minister of the Emperor.
Minister, your father-in-law approaches.
What happened? All I've been told is that you were attacked.
I cannot say too much at this time. We are about to witness the wrath of the Emperor.
You have been summoned before our most glorious and wise Emperor. The prisoner who stands before you is Lord Bartok. He has committed the crime of attacking a loyal minister of the Emperor. The prisoner will now be permitted to address his peers before our master passes judgment.
What has just been said of me is true. I offer no argument, nor dispute the simple facts. But they hardly begin to cover the scope of my true crimes. Honor requires more than admission. So I offer a full confession and the whole truth. For far too long, I failed to recognize my own hypocrisy. I ignored my own cowardice, conveniently hiding behind a position of political compromise. And for what? To retain the meager wealth and rank that men desire. So I come before you a condemned man for having finally stood up to injustice. My shame and regret is that I failed to do so before it arrived in my own court. We supply the armies. We build the roads. We employ the nation. Still, we remain silent while our coffers are emptied and our freedoms eroded. There will be times where we are powerless to injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest. This man, Camelot, is a cancer, growing. And the only proper thing to do is to cut it out. You all know what I speak of. Each one of you has been subjected to his extortion. But my words are not in judgment of my fellow noblemen. They are a warning. I urge you to consider what you are doing, for we are helping this man to forge the very chains that bind us. Which brings me to the confession of my true crime, so that I may redeem my honor. My crime is only that I failed to kill Camelot when I had the chance.
We have enjoyed hundreds of years of peace under my family's rule. We brought order where there was chaos, peace where there was nothing but war and bloodshed. My subjects accept their roles, content in the knowledge they serve the greater good. If you think your words will move your fellow noblemen to dissent, then you're sorely misled. Are you prepared to receive my judgment and regain your honor?
I am prepared to receive your judgment, but my honor is intact.
You dare to contradict the word of the Emperor?
All those in your house shall be evicted from your lands. The Bartok clan is no more. And your delusions of self require more extreme measures. Your crime and defiance to the ordinances of the capital shall be repaid with nothing less than your head.
You cannot do this! How dare you address the Emperor directly?
My lord, a judgment of this kind is unprecedented for a nobleman.
This display of arrogance cannot go unanswered.
What do you suggest?
Your commander is fiercely loyal to you. Lord Bartok. And so it is fitting that you should meet your end by his sword. Should you refuse the order, all of Lord Bartok's blood relations shall be executed as well.
Minister.
First Council, the word of the Emperor has been spoken.
Commander!
Let him pass.
You will do this.
No.
I'm already dead.
I will take death at your side rather than participate in this spectacle.
I know you will. But how will that serve us?
My lord, I cannot do this.
It's already done. Think only of what follows. The spirit of our clan will endure through you.
Commander Raiden! The Emperor's word is not a request that requires your decision.
Remember this, Raiden. The wounds of honor are self-inflicted. Draw your sword.
My lord. Please.
Commander, draw your sword. Your devotion to the code is absolute, is it not?
Yes, my lord.
Then as your lord and master, I order you to complete this duty. From this moment on, be no more grieved by what you have done.
This will quiet any whispers of dissent for quite some time.
We must deal with Commander Raiden with a quick and firm hand.
Do you offer this for our master's benefit or your own?
Did you see how he stood before you? He's a rabid dog, that one.
We control the warriors through their absolute loyalty to their masters. How do you think 2 million of them would react if we eliminated one of their own for exemplifying the virtue of loyalty?
What if you should seek vengeance?
He is not to be touched. There are already too many disavowed looking for a reason to act. If you come upon real proof that he intends to move against you, then I will order his death. But not until then. Is that understood?
Yes, Master. Until then, shall I see to the eviction and the subsequent dispensing of the Bartok lands?
The lands should be divided equally, so as not to favor one nobleman over another.
Of course. But I will not bother our master with the details at this time. I will attend to it myself.
I'm certain you will. You must keep aware of the minister, my lord.
I know you do not approve of Camelot, but his ambition and greed serve my interests well.
Yes, my lord.
Anna.
Father.
August, I hear your crops were plentiful this season.
Yes, they were.
So the lands I took and gave over to you proved sufficient in replacing the dying ones you had when we first met?
They have.
Perfect. Now, tell me, you knew Lord Bartok. What do you know of his retainer?
I did not know Bartok that well, though we had a few dealings. As to this Raiden, I only know of him through rumor, tales of his violent past.
You spent time with him. What is your assessment?
I would be shocked if he were to let this go.
I ask that you send me 1,000 of your men to increase my security until this is over with.
1,000?
Yes.
That is more than half my retainers.
All of whom you have because of me. Would you prefer to return to the impoverished state you were in before I graciously took your daughter as my wife?
No, Minister.
You will oversee the eviction. After that, and for as long as it takes, I want eyes upon Raiden every minute of the day. When he decides to strike, we will be ready.
Sir! Are we going to let this happen?
We won't leave without a fight!
Everyone must pack their things and leave. The palace guard is already on its way.
We're simply to be thrown out into the street with nothing?
How are we supposed to support ourselves?
Commander, are we to understand that you would have us do nothing?
Our master is dead. I'm no longer your commander. From now on, you owe allegiance to no one but yourselves. Gentlemen. You are disavowed.
Don't touch her!
These people are losing their home. You will treat them with respect.
Where are you going?
I'll have a drink here. Round for my friend.
That's all of it? Well, it's barely enough to meet our expenses.
Glad we treat ourselves to a good meal in the city. It'll do you good.
All right. Well, I'll be on my way. The roads into the market will already be busy.
Did you see? Your father gave me my own brand.
That's wonderful. He's never taken to an apprentice so quickly.
And I hope soon to stop saying apprentice, start saying son. Now add your mark. We have to be going. Once they have done installing the panels, we will continue with the floors.
Yes, sir.
Cannot find a dagger like this anywhere in the land. Token of my deep respect.
Support such as yours is how our nation grows in strength. You can be certain your request for tax relief will be heard.
Thank you, Minister.
Are you almost done?
Yes.
Perhaps my body would have the strength to rid itself of this memento if I had a physician of real skill.
I've followed the proper treatment. Something seems to prevent the wound from closing.
Is that what you offer as an explanation? Something? Get out! Why did you send a servant away?
You do not allow for interruptions when in conference.
Did you consider that the servant is required to taste everything she brings me for a threat of poisoning? No? Or perhaps you were fully aware and you feign ignorance?
Of course not.
And I'm expected to take your word simply because you're my wife. The tea is getting cold. It appears the tea is not poison. How is the gate coming along? This iron gate is capable of holding back an entire army.
Perhaps once it is installed, we could release some of the extra guards on loan from your father-in-law. Providing for them has brought us outside the parameters of our budget.
The cost will not be an issue.
The cost of the pavilion now stands at 5 times the approved estimate. Without the gold leaf, I don't...
As stimulating as your accounts of my accounting are, I need a word in private with my commander. What news have you for me?
More of the same.
And his men?
Scattered about, finding employment where they can.
Has he had any contact with them?
None.
And yet he still remains in the capital.
We have eyes upon him every moment of the day and night.
He's patient, but his act doesn't fool me. Nor should it you. Prod him. Find out what he's hiding.
Right, please follow me. Look who's here.
Lieutenant.
Please, sit everyone. Hey, bring us some more to drink.
Gabriel.
So, what do you say about my establishment?
Certainly it is a good fit for you.
A perfect fit. And you? How are you keeping yourselves?
I'm managing the fishing boats of a wealthy merchant. Gabriel is working for the Mozart.
That would explain your distinctive fragrance.
And the reason my wife allows me to remain here alone. No other woman will touch me.
Perhaps without compensation. Half price for you.
No, thank you.
I will accept that offer.
Once you begin paying for your drinks, I will consider extending my discounts to others. Gentlemen, to your prosperity. That way you will further increase mine.
Here, here.
Cheers.
And you, Jim?
I work when I can.
Maybe there's some work at the harbor? Should I inquire?
Nah, such labor's not for me.
Between your poverty and your smell, I must be sitting with the two loneliest men in the capital.
Indeed. The two loneliest men.
Spends most of his days here now.
I thought you told me he had fallen back to his old ways. I find it hard to believe.
He appears to be better than usual tonight.
I must be going.
Please, do not leave on account of him.
Sickens me to be in his presence.
Lieutenant! Lieutenant! Where are you going? Come and have a drink with me.
No longer your lieutenant.
Raiden, wake up. Here, drink this. Let us get you home.
I'm fine.
Let me help. You can barely walk.
I don't need your help. I'm fine.
You will not find anyone better than me to teach your son how to wield a sword.
I gave you my offer, and I don't see anyone else here bidding on your talents. So, do you accept my offer? Because I've no more time to waste.
Yeah, good luck with your son. He's gonna need it. And then I saw him coming out of Gizamot's front gates.
How? He would have never been allowed within the Minister's walls.
He's working as a metalworker's apprentice, and has an entirely new identity. I questioned others in the square about him.
He must have been in desperate need of work.
I'm certain that the Minister would pay handsomely to know that one of Bartok's men has created a false identity in order to work right under his nose.
Shall we?
The first thing I'll do with my newfound fortune is obtain lodging closer to drinking establishments.
I like the sound of that.
And now what about lodging?
You're late.
Jim saw you leaving Gizmo's today. He was going to bring that information to Gizmo with hopes of a reward. I was left with no other choice.
It's my fault.
Not your fault. Jim was willing to sacrifice your life for his own rewards. That said, we cannot have any more mistakes. Do you have the credentials? Gizemot's compound is now the most fortified complex in the nation. Gaining entry is not only going to be difficult, it is probably impossible. The only point of direct access is here, at the main gates. The drawbridge is raised at sundown, when the day workers must exit. Must be operated at both sides at the same time in order to cross.
We have to take control of it. From the outside, here, and the inside. Here.
Past the main gates, soldiers' barracks. 250 soldiers sleep here every night, fully armed and ready to fight. We won't be able to fend them off if we wake them. Once past the soldiers' barracks, we must enter the garden maze. It's the only way to traverse the compound unseen.
Not only do I have to prune every tree, but since the minister's chambers are set so high, I have to ensure the gardens look good from above.
That brings us to the pavilion. It is the only point of cover before the castle.
If we are able to survive the torrent of arrows raining down upon us, we'll finally reach the iron gates of the residence. Absolutely impossible to open from the outside.
Sir, I must be going.
Yes, of course.
Where are you going?
To see his girl.
Oh, why are we spending time on this when we could be hearing the young one's tales of innocence lost?
Leave the boy be. Mind yourself. Here are the forged documents necessary for working inside the compound.
I must do some repairs to the roof of your watchtower. The previous carpenter did not do very good work.
With the wages they pay us, who could blame him?
I sold 3 baskets today. Something wrong?
I'm tired of eating nothing but rice.
If I was not the only one working, perhaps we could afford something else. Why are you still doing this? There's no shame in feeling grief, but destroying yourself will not bring Lord Bartok back.
Spare me your insight.
That is all we have left. Come and stay in with me just one night.
Watch you weave more baskets.
Please, Raiden! Please. I cannot do this for much longer. Where is it? Where is it?
What?
Your sword.
Oh. Here it is.
I'm leaving.
I agree. This is not the type of establishment for a respectable woman.
I'm leaving you. I have struggled with the hope that you'd come back to me. Return to being the man I married, but that you'd sell your sword. Only proves you never will. If you have something to say to me to make me think otherwise, now is the time.
Sir, the minister has been summoned.
His wisdom and loyalty will forever be remembered.
Come with me. Before his passing, First Council recommended I pay attention to your dealings with the noblemen. He believed your methods are exceeding political and moral propriety. There is a balance to be maintained between dominance and patronage. Your initial gesture as First Council will be a new tax relief for both the citizens and the noblemen.
It is the great honor of my life to serve you in this capacity.
Your appointment also brings to an end any and all bribes demanded of the noblemen. In your capacity as minister, there was sufficient distance between us that I could allow you such freedom, but no more. It is not needed. And this obsession of yours with Raiden will cease immediately. You surround yourself with more security than I. It is an embarrassment to you. He has already destroyed himself. Except that you've emerged the stronger with some dignity.
Yes, Master. I thank you for your guidance and wisdom. Does he not understand that I'm under siege?
My lord, I believe Raiden is no longer a threat to you.
Why?
He has sold his sword.
And?
A warrior disposing of his sword can only be interpreted in one way. He has abandoned all attachment to his former self.
You think to pacify me with this? Who cares about a piece of metal? Do you think you can obscure your failure to expose him by using this juvenile warrior's code as justification? Leave me. I will decide what need be done. Show yourself! Show yourself!
My husband requests you.
These unfolding paths have been quite interesting when you consider them. As I ascend to the apex of my ambitions, he sinks further into the abyss. And recognizing that symmetry, if you were him, could you allow such a personal disgrace and affront to go unanswered? No. So I've come to realize that we're dealing with someone of such profound internal damage that he has simply not been pushed far enough. Find me Lord Bartok's family.
Do you take issue with anything asked of you?
Not at all. And for this price, there is not much I would take issue with. Commander. I have a surprise for you tonight. A new selection. And listen, no negotiating on this one. She's still a virgin.
Raiden. You have come for me. What is wrong? You have come to take me. Have you not? Raiden. Please. 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 No. No. Raiden. Raiden. Raiden! Raiden! Look at me! No! No!
It is over. There is nothing left to do.
Are you sure? Perhaps he simply didn't care for the girl.
Are you listening to me? His master's daughter was presented to him as a whore, and he did nothing. He cares for nothing. Not honor, not his family, not himself. And certainly not you.
At last, I'm free of this. Well done. Well done.
I've marked where the urns are buried.
Well. We have planned. We have sacrificed. We have waited for the right moment. And now... it is time.
August, welcome. I see you come bearing quite the gift.
I wanted to give you something special. To recognize your well-earned appointment. And to thank you for returning my men.
Of all the gifts I have received, this is my favorite.
I'll have a short visit with my daughter before my journey home with my guards.
Yes, that will be fine.
Honor is something that all men are born with. It cannot be taken from you, nor can it be granted. It must only not be lost. We now stand at the door of our final great act. To Tonight, our enemy will bear witness to the unbreakable code of the 7th rank. We will reclaim what they tried to take. We will restore the name of our master. The voice of our people. And the spirit of our nation. them as long as you can.
Stay in your chambers. Why did I ever trust you? I told you, you imbecile!
Remain in your chambers. Open the flap. Ready the archers.
Lord Bartok was my oldest and dearest friend. And you would not allow this disgrace to go unavenged.
My master told me that should I be left without anyone to trust, that I could always trust you.
I offer my help in any manner you need. But with a condition. You ensure my daughter's freedom from that man.
I give you my word.
Tell me what you need.
Find somewhere safe to hide.
Wait. Thank you.
We've come for Guillemot.
I can no more back down than you.
You think you're a hero? You will be remembered only as a traitor and a disgrace.
Only time will tell how we are remembered. Something you no longer have.
Who is it? We're closed.
Your father's honor has been reclaimed. The Bartok name will never be forgotten.
Thank you.
To wage an attack on the First Council is a flagrant disregard of my power and will not go unanswered. The only question is, how severe the punishment? How many generations of each should I wipe out? The only reason you are all here is because I am without a First Council. Now will someone speak their mind?
My lord, it would be prudent to recognize that to the people, these men are heroes.
Heroes?
To the people, these men stand for the virtues that made our nation great. Virtues once exemplified by all warriors, now hardly to be found in any. If your punishment is seen to be unjust, you chance turning these warriors into martyrs for a cause against you. However, if we treat them with the respect befitting an honorable warrior, we align these heroes with us.
I cannot allow such transgression to go unpunished. Everyone must be reminded that no one can stand against the Emperor.
My Emperor. May I offer a solution?
I have one more request. If we are to succeed, the Emperor's first instinct will be to take the heads of each of my men and their families.
You're correct.
But as with all his decisions, he will first seek advice. Without a First Council at his side, he will be open to the voices of others.
You mean to say mine?
My men accept that death will be waiting for them upon completion of our task. They are warriors of the 7th rank. They will not ask for a reprieve, but I ask it for them.
and not yourself. These warriors are nameless to most, but one stands apart. One is known to all.
Commander. What is this?
You are to assume command of the castle.
No. Commander. Commander, you cannot do this. We stand with you. I stand with you.
Lieutenant, your devotion to the code is absolute, is it not?
Yes.
Then as your commander, I order you to take control of the Bartok clan.
Benevolent wisdom and esteem that the Emperor proclaims these noble warriors as heroes of the people. They are a shining example and a reminder of those values that bind us as one great nation. However, no matter what the circumstance, an attack on a member of the Emperor's Council is by law considered an attack on the Emperor himself and our great nation.
Sorry. I am so sorry for all you've had to endure.
Acting the part was not difficult. Wondering if I was truly losing you was unbearable.